midst of all of
So
this.
really, the Esther's really positioning to let that Genesis reproductive
Absolutely.
perpetuate the grace of the image of God.
Absolutely.
Replicate that in the earth.
Absolutely.
It's not that you get lost in the fame of being the Esther. Like Mordecai said, don't forget who you are, girl. You didn't come here to be pretty and to be a trophy wife and a slave queen or a boss babe.
Yep.
Or to blow. You came here to actually
Save people.
To replicate the Genesis image of God mandate. Don't ever get lost in your position that you are. I like to think of the Esther movement, the real Esther movement, as a counter to the Vashti movement. The Vashti movement was started not by a position, again, a woman in a position who refused to honor her husband's request. And a movement was started that a wise man recognized. This is a movement. It's called the Vashti movement. We don't talk about it. But so will women despise their husbands everywhere. That's called a movement.
Yeah.
So it turns out you don't need to preach to start a movement. You just need to be
take a position.
To take a position on something that's against God's will.
Absolutely.
And now what I'm concerned about is we're seeing these Esther movements being hijacked by Vashti movements because the position becomes more important than replicating the divine DNA of God. And it's like, who needs Xerxes, right? Maybe I am Xerxes too. So it's not about restoring the order. It's about replacing the order.
And I think that that's one of Satan's greatest weapons against the church. Because I found out that many Christians have a knowledge of what God has done, but they don't really have a knowledge of what it took for God to do it. And I think so people can tell the story of, Esther, the queen, Deborah, the one that, led the people to go to war, or this. We talk about all of those things, but actually going deeper into a story to realize that the reason why Deborah qualified was because she was married to Lapidoth. And Lapidoth comes from the Hebrew word lapid, which is the lamp and the light of God. So you talk about Esther being the queen, but you don't remember that Esther actually had a journey of mentorship with Mordecai, and she actually never let him go, and he still had a say in her life. Now, these are the intricate details that sustain the glory of the office. So what you then have is a lot of people who rise, and after a while, you don't find these women anymore. And we forget that just naturally, the world and the systems of the world don't naturally favor, women sustaining certain visions. Because of that, it becomes most expedient that a woman is very careful about the government around the things that she's building, the government in ministry, the government in spirituality, the government in relationships, the government in friendships. But what we define now as being a powerful woman is that submit yourself to nothing and to no one. But you don't really recognize that throughout time, God has sustained and preserved what a woman carries by submission.
Wow.
Yeah. So submission is not you playing down on yourself. Submission is you being wise enough to preserve the glory of what you carry. You submit yourself to friendships, to relationships, to mentors, to your husband. And in doing that, what you're saying is, I know what I have. I know what I carry, and I want it to be reproduced in future generations. I will not allow it die out with me. So I'm going to give myself to the government and whatever that government looks like, so that this can continue into the future.
And I also think submission still has the word mission in it.
Absolutely.
And we have to realize that actually the strength of your mission is actually determined entirely by who you get under. And some people think, I think today, and maybe men can take the blame for this one, we've turned submission into, you don't have a mission. I think that's what we've done. We say, you don't have a mission, I have a mission. You sit down, be my trophy. What did Mordecai do? Mordecai actually told Esther, you got a mission, girl. Don't think that you can stay quiet at a time like this. You are just sub. Sub means under. You are under mission, right? And that is powerful. And actually Mordecai gave this woman her mission and told us, don't forget who you are. Don't get so vain that you forget you have a mission, that you're undercover in this.
Come on.
Let's